Hey guys, kinggath here with another patch for Sim Settlements. This is patch 4.2.1, which I'm calling Sharpshooters. Now, before we get into the why of that and talk more about the patch notes, I want to first talk about the t-shirt giveaway. So we used to do a t-shirt giveaway with every patch where, and some of you guys probably noticed these little random images that would pop up throughout the patch notes video with no understanding of what the heck they were. That was related to the giveaway. And what we found was the last couple, nobody got the answers, or the person who got the answers already had a t-shirt and didn't want to take another one from us because that does take into our supply. We only have so many to give away, but we want to get those back. It was fun giving those away, and so we're going to make it easier for everybody and also make sure we are giving them to people who actually want them. So what we're going to do is every patched video, I'm going to announce a hashtag, and you can just comment in the video something. Don't just comment with the hashtag, but make a comment, whether it's something you love about Sim Settlements, or just some funny comment about the patch notes, or a question, or a bug report, anything you want, just something, and then add that hashtag. And that hashtag will tell me that you are interested in being a potential recipient of a Sim Settlements t-shirt. And then at the end of the weekend, after we've given a few days for people to watch the patch notes video and hear the hashtag, I will pick somebody at random to get a t-shirt, as long as they included something else in their comment. Like I said, I don't want to just have my comments spammed with this hashtag every week, so make sure your comment has something to say, something fun, interesting, complimentary, insulting, I guess. Please, maybe keep those on the minimum if you could. Anyway, put a comment below with that hashtag, and this week we'll do the hashtag Sharpshooter because that is the simple patch note name, or patch name, and we will change up that hashtag each week, and so the only people who actually are watching this will pick that up quickly. Obviously, I'm sure people will just catch on eventually that they can just look to other comments, but I'm going to have fun with it. I like picking out stuff like names for patches, and in this case, little hashtags. So, hashtag Sharpshooter this week if you are interested in picking up a Sim Settlements t-shirt. All right, now let's get into some of the patch notes. So this isn't a big flashy patch like last time with the war options where you got a whole new way to play the game. Instead, this is a bunch of bug fixes and a couple of features that kind of made or didn't make the release schedule. So they were cutting room floor features that we dreamed up while planning out Conqueror stuff, and I finally had some time to stick them in. So two of those are sniper related, and that's where I got the patch note name. So the first one is if you have gone through the Willy One-Eye quest line from Jammer, you will now receive a little perk from Willy. So if you've already completed that, you'll get that perk as soon as you load up this patch. And then the other sniper-related perk is that there was an NPC unit called the Minutemen Sharpshooter. This is introduced pretty late in Jammer's questline, and it was a unit that was meant to be very intimidating, and instead it ended up being just easy mode. And so we've bumped that up quite a bit. They now do a lot more damage. They actually have a chance they can knock you down, so they will be high priority targets. And in addition to being high priority targets in the couple of quests that they appear in, they are now, after they appear in those quests, they will now start showing up in the Minutemen assaults on your base, on your bases as Jammer's gang. So this is a special unit that only affects Jammer's questline players. Anybody who is playing with the Minutemen and wants that as a special unit, talk to your local faction pack developer, and I can show them how to add that unit in. But that new Sharpshooter, I think, is going to be a high priority target. And that's something that I think is a lot of fun with these factions, is having these kind of specialized units who are attacking you, where those can become you, the player's focus, where you let your military clean up all the rabble, all the general units that aren't particularly flagged as a certain type. We had this previously with the Radio Man units. Those are really high priority targets. If you don't kill them quickly, they fire off a flare and it summons reinforcements. And now we've added a second unit. So there will be a couple of big units that you really need to priority take down if you're playing as Jammer's gang and you get an assault against you from the Minutemen. Beyond that, a patch note worth mentioning, actually two I think worth mentioning. One is all of that stuff you've been collecting in your workshop from Industrial Revolution that you didn't know what to do with, that you have an excess of, things like dirt and coal and sterilized plastic. That stuff was always supposed to be donatable to increase your scrap percentage if you're using city plans, and it had never functioned. I finally figured out why it wasn't functioning. That has been fixed, so those things can now be donated. So if you've got loads of those sitting in your workshops, you suddenly have something you can do with those. You can donate those, and they will count toward the scrap percentage for your city plans. And then the final big thing I want to mention is a transfer settlements issue. So it turned out that transfer settlements has not correctly been recording the plot levels, which we had always assumed it was. And that breaks a pretty key feature when you're importing transfer settlements blueprints with some settlements plots, and that is being able to get directly to the higher level buildings. So some people had been using this to, for example, put out some transfer settlements blueprints with, say, the Industrial Revolution tech tree already solved, and those weren't working prior. And not only were they not working, transfer settlements itself was crashing the game often when using some settlements plots. I did a lot of research to figure out what was going on there, and finally nailed it down to a couple of changes that I made a few patches back, at least in regards to the crashing. And so I fixed the crashing, and then with the other issue, with the buildings not being recorded, that's something that I'm going to have to work with C Dante to get resolved. But in the meantime, what I've done is by default now, any of the normal plots that are saved in your transfer settlements blueprint will just go all the way to level 3, no matter what the player chooses as their options on import. That might be a negative to some of you, apologies, but that's better, I think, than only being able to get level 0 versions of all the plots. I'd rather have people importing and being able to get right to the top level, which is, I think, what most people want. And then for the Industrial Revolution type branching building plans, those will just now work correctly. They probably weren't working at all, or were working very sporadically, and so those imports should work correctly. One thing you'll notice with transfer settlements imports now is that the plots wait until the end to actually start setting up. So previously they would happen during the transfer settlements import, and that was causing a lot of script congestion, and that's where the crashes were coming from. So now all of the plot handling is delayed to the end. You don't have to stick around in your settlement after the import finishes while the plots are doing their thing. And so I added some notification messages up in the corner that will tell you, it's doing plot 1 of X until it finishes handling all of those, and then you can come back, and if you left and your plots are missing things, you can just refresh them and they'll be right as rain. So that is it for patch notes that I'm going to talk about. There's obviously tons of little patch notes you should check out on our wiki, so check the full list there. That will show you all the details. And once again, a reminder, if you're interested in scoring a Sim Settlements t-shirt, make a comment of whatever type like you normally would. Just add #Sharpshooter to tell me that you're interested in being pulled as a random drawing for the t-shirt giveaway. All right, guys, all that said, take care and enjoy the mods.